everyone,
That's
my
working.
name is Richard Williams and I am part of the Demand Hub team at the University of Birmingham. I'm just going to give you a very quick overview about background of myself, the expertise that I bring into Demand Hub, and a couple of examples about how we have supported regional healthcare sector companies. So Demand Hub really sits mainly in an area called the Valley of Death. So this segment, the second segment from the left, where much of the innovation, the really good science, the really good engineering concepts often fail to get to market or to achieve wide adoption because considerations around regulation, how you're going to manufacture at scale, and actually validating that there's a market fit for the product in the first place are often underrepresented in people's development plans. You can also see here that we've highlighted the kind of organisations that fund various development stages and some of the other business development networks around the region. And this is by no means an exhaustive list. But in summary, Demand Hub is about bringing the right expertise at the right time in development programs. And just as importantly, using our knowledge of the wider life science ecosystem to bring patients, industry partnerships, funders, and other business facilitators on into projects to create that whole support package around developing healthcare technologies. And this is really where my expertise has been developed over a number of years. So a bit about myself. I'm based in the University of Birmingham. I've been a long time now in the Healthcare Technologies Institute, where my role really is about developing and building commercial plans around a portfolio of technologies that I've been involved in developing over the last 10 years. In particular, a number of pharmaceutical products for preventing scarring, both in the eye and the skin, and a number of other technologies for delivering and retaining cell therapies where they're needed from the body. I've been involved for many years in raising funding, both public and private, but the main ones that I've taken a lead role in bringing in involves NIHR, LIBOR, and some private midtech and Mercia investment. I've also supported a number of SMEs in the healthcare space across the region. These four in particular, including Disulfican as a Wolverhampton University spin-out pharmaceutical company. Focus Medical is another pharma company. Ostik, which we'll talk about in a moment, and also Hugo Technologies, who are responsible for deploying and maintaining much of the equipment in the NHS today. And across those examples, I've been involved in developing the strategy for bringing their products through regulatory compliance and through to trials, all the way through to developing new lines of service in the case of Hugo Technology. Off the back of that, I've also done consultancy for a number of years for several major healthcare companies. And because of my work in regulatory compliance of our own products and with SMEs, I also have experience with the MHRA and in fact was asked to help them expand their free advisory program to SMEs and universities, which is called the Innovation Office. And finally, about 2 years ago now, I was invited to be a mentor for the NatWest Entrepreneur Accelerator program, and I also support the Department for International Trade in facilitating direct investment in the UK around life sciences, and also facilitating trade from UK companies into other parts of the world with a particular focus on China. So one of the examples of companies that we supported in a predecessor product was Ostik. This is a fantastic startup company who were essentially trying to redevelop how stomacare products, stoma bags, are seen, away from being beige, very drab products into becoming almost like a fashion accessory, which are customizable in terms of skin tone and design to give much greater confidence and better functionality to patients with stomas. So they came to us having not long spun out. We initially supported them on exploring what the regulatory pathway for their product is likely to be, particularly because this is a product which could be engaging with an orifice into the body, which comes with higher risk and obviously greater regulatory compliance. But the real support came by leveraging both the local hospital and the university to support them on submitting an Innovate UK bid. And our colleagues in the hospital supported them with the clinical study. And my role on this was really to help guide them through ensuring that their materials were safe to use and helping them find appropriate subcontractors through my own years of developing products and using subcontractors in the area. I'm happy to say that they were successful. They were awarded a £300,000 grant in 2018, and September this year they won a pitch at London Tech Week, which enabled them to gain access to a unique set of investors in this space, and they are growing from strength to strength, and I believe that they are hoping to release a product in 2021. Finally, this example really covers several companies we're working with, are all responding to COVID. And I think a big feature of our support has been trying to guide people through what are deemed to be called relaxation of regulations. And the reality is, I think a big mistake a lot of people made is that relaxation of the regulations around devices and PPE does not mean there was no regulation. And in fact, many companies were making the mistake of placing products straight on the market without realizing that they would not be allowed to sell the product on the market once these special measures had been removed from the regulatory space. So we've tried to support companies in understanding a balance between speed to market using these relaxations, but also coming up with a plan to make their products compliant such that they have a market beyond COVID. And rather neatly, some companies are seeing opportunities to innovate in new markets or existing markets where life is likely to change post-COVID, particularly around training in this top example, where there are a few companies working on changing medical training to online apps, and we are supporting them to look at market fit and adjusting to a change, particularly across apps that are designed to work in the NHS, a change around a desire to create their own CE marking process almost for software. So a mark of approval to show that there are some standardized guidelines around best practice in the design of apps. Another area we've supported is around people looking to innovate in sanitization products. And we've seen a plethora of different molecules and approaches here. And in general, we've tried to support them by building packages to assess compatibility of their products, but also help them think about how scalable their manufacturing process is likely to be. And particularly in the case of home care, we're seeing big changes in air quality practice at the moment. And there's likely to be a lot of regulation come into this space in the next couple of years. So we're just priming some of the companies that are working in this space with a bit of knowledge to make sure they plan well ahead of these new regulations coming in. And I'll just leave it at that, and I'm more than happy to take questions or to answer any comments by email. Thank you very much.